All-out war with Russia? NATO warns of real possibility. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, has warned of a real possibility of an all-out war with Russia, just hours after Russian President Vladimir Putin announced plans to increase the country's nuclear weapons capabilities. This alarming news has raised serious concerns about the prospects of a major conflict between two nuclear powers. In this blog post, we will examine the current tensions between Russia and NATO and what could happen if an all-out war becomes a reality. NATO has warned of a real possibility of an all-out war with Russia in the wake of a new nuclear threat from President Vladimir Putin. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, issued a strong rebuke of the Russian leader on Friday, saying it was deeply concerned by his statements on nuclear capabilities. Putin had declared that Russia would deploy invincible nuclear weapons capable of evading U.S. defenses, though the Kremlin denied he was referring to a new type of weapon. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said in a statement that the alliance has been clear in its message that any use of nuclear weapons is unacceptable and would have devastating consequences. He noted that NATO has long advocated for arms control and disarmament and remains committed to doing so in order to reduce the risk of miscalculation or misunderstanding leading to an all-out war. Stoltenberg added that NATO will continue to work to preserve peace and stability in the region, and urged Russia to join it in this endeavor. The relationship between Russia and the West has grown increasingly strained in recent weeks, with Russian President Vladimir Putin issuing a nuclear threat to NATO allies during his annual State of the Union address on Wednesday. In response, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg declared that a real possibility of an all-out war with Russia now exists. Stoltenberg said that Russia's aggressive military posture is a cause for serious concern, and warned that NATO is ready to respond to any aggression. Putin's speech contained what he called a stern warning to NATO countries, telling them they should not cross Russia's red lines or else face a price to pay. He also warned of Russia's growing arsenal of nuclear weapons, saying that Moscow was prepared to use them if necessary. This latest threat from Putin comes amid increasing tensions between Russia and the West over issues such as the Ukraine crisis, Syria, and Russia's interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. While the prospect of an all-out war between Russia and the West seems remote, NATO's warning is a stark reminder of how quickly tensions can escalate between the two sides. With tensions already running high, it remains to be seen whether Putin's nuclear threats will further destabilize the situation. The tensions between Russia and NATO have been escalating for some time, with Putin saber-rattling, his move to deploy missiles on NATO's doorstep, and his continued aggression in Ukraine. Now, NATO is warning that the situation is escalating to a critical level and that there is a real possibility of an all-out war between the two sides. The alliance has urged restraint from both sides, but its warnings make it clear that war could be a genuine outcome of the current tensions. The consequences of an all-out war would be devastating for both sides. It would also have a major impact on the global economy, as well as on the security of other nations in the region and around the world. For now, both sides must do everything in their power to prevent war from breaking out, by using diplomatic channels to resolve their differences and by avoiding any further provocation or escalation.